This is the mindset of rich people versus poor people. A rich designer, poor designer. This is entrepreneurship 101. Here's the question. Can you afford to hire others instead of doing the work yourself? Why should you buy back your time? Because right now it would seem like and feel like in your heart that the money is more important than your time. We often catch ourselves saying things like, well, it'll only take me a few hours. I should just do this. And what else am I going to do if I hire somebody to do this, right? Trigo?
So my problem, it's right now is that I'm getting these jobs for like $3,000 and I'm like contemplating about actually hiring people because that was kind of my strategy for what I wanted to do. But with our current like pandemic, every time I feel like I'm giving out one of these jobs, I'm losing money, right? And I'm like, should I be taking home this $3,000 or should I be hiring somebody else to do it? And it's one of those things that it just keeps coming up for me. And I don't know when my next paycheck's going to come. So, you know, I feel like I should be more like frugal with how I am delegating these projects. Okay.
So you're sitting there thinking, if I do all the work, I keep all the money.
Exactly.
But if I give a group of people the work, how many people do you wind up hiring when you hire people?
Between 2 to 3 people.
Okay. So we'll call these the freelancers, right? The project fee you said was about $3,000.
Average projects, yeah, are $3,000.
Okay, $3,000. Okay. $3,000 US. And what do you do for that? So he does like a 2-minute video, talking head, right?
Correct.
You guys know about that. It's like he's interviewing people or they're just talking. It's kind of corporate. Cost of goods sold. How much money do you have to spend to give this work to freelancers so that they can do the job for you?
$2,200.
That's cost of goods sold. You guys need to remember this. COGS, COGS, okay? Cost of goods sold. So you have to spend $2,200 to get this produced. So what you do to calculate your gross profit margin is you take how much you're paid minus how much it costs you to make your cost of goods sold, and you wind up with $800. So $800 is your gross profit. I want to talk about how much time you have to spend to do this work if you kept it yourself.
To shoot and edit the whole project.
To do all the work.
It'd be about 20 hours.
20 hours?
Correct.
Okay. Basically, he's exchanging $2,200 for about 20 hours of work. Okay, so we spend 20 hours to do this work, or we can pay. So what we don't realize, we think, because it's me, we calculate this as profit. But the only real way you can look at this, if you really want to think about profit, is to say, if I could not touch this at all, I had to hire other people to do all the work, what is left? That is profit. We have to ask ourselves, well, what's my time worth? What's the opportunity cost? What else could I be doing? So I have a little worksheet and we'll get into it, okay? So we want to know, what can we do with that free time? I want everybody to start to learn this idea. Time equals currency in this context, not when you bid, but your time, because I'll contradict myself in about 2 seconds, but time is currency, okay? So you have about 20 hours. You have 20 hours to invest. So the prompt here is to ask you, and everybody that's doing this at home, you guys can play along, especially my pro people, is how else might you invest your time, this is important, to grow your business? You have 20 units to do something with. Now, what can you do to grow your business? So now we're going to say, in our free time, we want to do marketing. And it's a thing that a lot of people want to do, and it makes sense. So under the umbrella of marketing is content marketing, social media marketing, paid advertising, SEO optimization. Pretty much you got to get your name out there. You really do. So we have 20 hours now to do marketing. What kind of marketing would you like to work on?
More Instagram stuff.
Okay,
like
IG?
IG.
Okay, that's good. IG, what do you want to do with IG?
Carousels, post more videos.
Okay. So we're going to do content for IG, right? Like I said before, we want to work a reasonable 8-hour a day. So the way I look at this is 20 hours divided by 8. That gives me, I think, 2.5 days. So if you can do 4 carousels on day 1, 4 carousels, let's say you could do 4 again, and then we'd have half a day, so we'll do 2. That would give you 10 carousels. Does that seem reasonable to you to do?
Yes.
Okay. Approximately, like, how many followers do you get per carousel? Like on average, not the best one, not the worst one.
75.
You're going to get 75 new followers per carousel. So I'm going to do the math. I'm going to say 10 times 75 equals 750. So far, my math is good. Now you're going to start to see what the cost of keeping your hands in the work and thinking about this money that you're making. If we say of the 750 new followers who are showing up for you because your content is consistent, it's good, it's focused on what it is that you want to make and sell as a service, let's say that 2% of them wind up becoming legitimate leads for you. Is that okay? So we're going to take this number and we're going to say 2%. So 2% of 750 followers are going to become leads. Like they might inquire about something, they might reach out in the DMs, they might do something. So you guys, 10% of 750 is 75. Therefore, 1% is 7.5, and we'll double that. That will give us 15. So that means you have 15 leads, right? But we know leads all don't work out because remember, Rodrigo's project is 3K. People are like, oh, dude, dope work. I love it. Everything's super cool. Oh, 3K, I can't afford that. So they disappear. So let's say of the 15 leads that you get, what's a good percentage that actually become a potential client? Why don't we divide that by 50%? Let's try it with 50%. So 50% of them become your client. That will equal, we'll round down conservatively. We'll say 7 of them become clients. Okay. And 7 of them times the $3,000 that you have in terms of a project equals 21,000. 50% of the leads, that's too much. Let's do 25%. So 25%, like 4, right?
So that's 4.
A little less. So we'll round down again, 3. We'll say 3. So that would equal 9,000. So now you can see what the true cost, the opportunity cost. Let's map it out. Okay, let's go back. If we do the work, we're going to keep an extra $2,200. If we don't do the work, we still have the $800. So that's immaterial to us right now. Now, I know, Mo, because you and I have been talking, that you've been investing in the stock market. You're trying to make your money work for you. So if you invest your money in a fund right now, what are you getting? What are you doing? Are you doing an index fund?
Index fund, yeah.
What kind of
Roth
return?
IRA,
Roth IRA.
index fund.
At the end of the year, if you put in $1,000, what percentage return do you think would be a good return?
10.
Okay, so if you get 10% on your money at the end of the year, $1,000, you get $1,100.
Right.
Right? So you're going to 10% ROI, which stands for return on investment. Okay. So if we take 2,200 and we give you a 10% return on that, so we just move the decimal one, that's 220, right? So we're going to add $220. So here we go. At the end of the year, 1 year away, you will add an additional $220 to that, which is $2,420. So Drigo is saying, Chris, I got to do the work. I got to provide for myself, for my sister, and for my future family at some point, right? Compare this number. Let me just put it on the table. Let me just put it on the board here. 21,000 versus 2,420. What is the opportunity cost? The opportunity cost is the difference between those two numbers, which we're not going to do. Still, even if we look at the 9,000 number, 9,000 versus 2,420. Now, if you did this, now not only do you have an additional $6,580, right, than this, I think that's the difference, right, Franklin? Yes, thank you. Not only do you have more money in the bank account, but you were able to do 3 more jobs. So you got better practice at your craft. Okay. You were able to also potentially even hire more freelancers to build your freelance pool. Can you understand this now? Yeah. This is the mindset of rich people versus poor people. A rich designer, poor designer. Everybody understand that. This is entrepreneurism 101, entrepreneurship 101. How am I able to do this, Mo? Because from the very beginning in 1995, when I started the company, I started to hire people to do the work for me so I can do all the things that Melinda is talking about doing, building up the freelance pool, vision casting, planning, strategizing, learning how to bid. So when the team was working on those super cool award-winning commercials, I was working on me. That's the benefit. And now I'm cashing in on that. You can see up until like when I'm like really super old, like say I'm 90 years old where I'm like, I have no more teeth, whatever. I still get to trade on that knowledge that I picked up. That's the difference. as it's happened in the previous video, people get upset about me saying things like this. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And it's okay. I'm not saying one is superior to the other. If you want to do the work, if you're really good at crafting things, you'll make a good living. And we depend on people like that because I need somebody to help me do the work. And so it's an honorable thing to do the work, the hard work, the blue collar work, the white collar work. Work is just honorable, period. So I have nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to teach people who want to move from that world to this world because maybe they too were raised by parents who wanted them to be super conservative, to do the 9 to 5, to be the weekend warrior, and to work towards retirement, never having fulfilled this dream in their heart. That's who I'm here for. That's part of the 1 billion mission.
Hi, my name is Greg Gunn, and I'm the producer of the Futur Podcast. And yes, we do have a podcast. In fact, we've been having one for years, and that's exactly why I'm here talking with you. You see, it's really good, and I think you should listen to it. If you like what we do here on YouTube, then you're gonna love what we do on the podcast. You'll get to hear intimate conversations and personal stories from some familiar faces and others you might not know about yet. Plus, you can listen to it while doing something else and you won't miss a thing. So, if any of that sounds interesting to you, go visit thefutur.com/podcast or find it on your favorite podcast listening app. I hope to see you there.